This is John Cola with GrowingYourGreens.com. I have another exciting episode for you, and today's episode is going to be the 2 perennial crops that you must grow, well, in the summer season unless you live in the tropics. So the 2 perennial crops, and I've talked about these before. If you want to see more in-depth video on actually how they grow, what they look like when they grow, you'll have to check my past videos for that because right now it's the winter and I've actually just got done harvesting all of the 2 crops. And I'm going to share those with you guys today. So the reason why you got to grow these 2 perennial crops if you live anywhere inside the United States is because before the white man came, these guys were growing naturally here. So these crops are climatized for our exact climate, and so they'll do very well pretty much wherever you live in the United States, but I don't know about Alaska. In any case, these 2 crops are number 1, the runner bean. So this is a dried pod, and you can see I have all these pods that are dried on the vine. We could go ahead and open one of these guys up, and on the inside you'll see the little beans, and these beans are really cool. Check it out, look at the colors on that. Everyone's just a little different. We could open up another one here, and we got, you know, black beans inside here. Whoops. And there's some black ones and some other ones. So these guys grow great in California and other places, and when the beans are fresh, they look like this. I had some that actually weren't damaged by the frost. And on these beans, one of the reasons why I like them is because when they're nice and small, you know, maybe like this big and not so wide, you can actually just pick them off and eat them like sugar snap peas, and they're actually quite delicious. You eat the bean and all. Once they get large like this, then I would actually let these guys actually ripen up or go to full maturity, in which case you'll get the beans. You can actually cook and eat these beans, and also, or you could save these beans to grow out again. So, you know, I had those growing up this big, large trellis, and you know, whether you want to grow them up a trellis or a hurricane fence or along a fence with some string, these guys are vigorous growers. They'll actually fill up your fence really fast. This is especially useful if you want some privacy and grow them along the outside of your property. But besides growing them a trellis, the next crop that you must grow that's also a native to America is this guy right here behind me, and I haven't dug up all these yet, but I'm going to start to do it real soon. Let me show you these guys. Now these guys are actually sunchokes, and you can see them popping out of the ground here. And what happens is these make a big stalk, and some of my stalks this year are maybe 15 feet tall. Now most of the time they won't get that big. They might get about 6 to 10 feet on you, depending on where you live. But these stalks are really huge, and what you're going to do is you're going to take these runner beans, the runner bean seeds, plant them at the stalk like I did this year, and guess what? Those runner beans will spin up the top and provide their own trellising on the sunchoke plants, and they've seemed to grow really well together. You can see they're commingling down here in the root zone. Some of the roots of the runner beans are here, and the sunchokes are just growing all around them. These are 2 excellent crops. Now let me show you guys actually another reason why I like these guys is because specifically the sunchokes actually yield a lot. For one plant, I think I've yielded like, you know, I don't know, 10 pounds of tubers before. So they produce a lot of tubers, and these tubers, you know, unlike potatoes, which you should be cooking, you can actually eat them raw, or you can actually cook them up. So, you know, in case one day there's no power, no fire, guess what? You can harvest both these guys and eat them fresh. On the beans, you could eat them fresh when they're small, but you need to cook them when they get more mature. Let's go ahead and actually pull some sunchokes out to show you guys just a yield on like 1 crown. Sunchokes are invasive, which means they're going to take over and spread out. Actually, I thought I eradicated them from this very bed last year, but I must have missed a few plants, few tubers, and they came back like wildfire. So if you can't grow anything, guess what? You want to grow some of these sunchokes because even with little water and, you know, without doing much for them, they're going to produce a lot. Now, I can't expect you to get high poundage if you don't take care of them properly, like build your soil and have good soil, but nonetheless, they're a pretty foolproof crop to grow and plant them somewhere where you want them. So whether that's a wine barrel, whether that's a raised bed garden where, you know, that's what you're growing in there, that along with the runner beans, you know that that's where they're going to be, and, you know, they're not going to take over because you have them contained to an area that's all right for you. Another thing that's really cool is that both these guys are perennial crops. What's a perennial crop? Well, a perennial crop to me is something that you could plant once and it comes back year after year. So in the case of the sunchokes, if you leave 1 or 2 tubers in the ground, it's going to come back at you. And in the case of the runner beans, for me, I cut them back and leave the root system in the ground. I cut them to the ground, maybe pile some compost over them. I've cut them back right over here, and I put a flag there to let me know not to plant anything to disturb them. Just going to cover that up, and next spring, what's going to happen is they're actually going to start growing again and send up their amazing vine. So what I'm going to do next is actually I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy out for you guys to show you guys the yields that you can get with some of the sunchokes. So let's go ahead and dig this back a little bit. Ground is nice and moist, and check it out, this is living soil. I see some worms in here cultivating the soil, and I'm using my hands to dig them up actually, so I don't actually fork through or put a blade through some of these guys, which are essential for your garden. Got some red wigglers in there, and this stuff is nice and moist, coming right up. And check it out, just here's one nice sunchoke. Now, if you go to buy these in the store, oftentimes they're just not going to be this big. They might be little small chunks of stuff, and I've seen sunchokes for selling like $5 a pound. When I see $5 a pound sunchokes, I just laugh out loud. And some people look at me funny, but that's because these guys are so simple to grow. But the problem is not many people know about them, so they're very rare and scarce. So yeah, this is one ready to be eaten. Let's go ahead and try to pull this whole clump up. I mean, if we just dig this out more just in this whole area, there's just a lot more sunchokes. Ugh. All right, so we got this pulled up, and let's see what we got. At the base of this, here's one nice large tuber, and here's another tuber. It's all the ones that are stuck on this guy, but this is some massive growth, and the massive growth above the ground feeds the tubers and stores the energy from the photosynthesis in the tubers. And the best time to harvest your tubers is after the first frost. The frost actually gets these a little bit sweeter. I also have a really good video on how to store your guys' sunchokes if you need to do that. All right, here's a nice large one right here. So it's kind of fun digging around. It's kind of like I'm excavating and finding some bones, but I'm actually finding some sunchokes. So you can see I've been digging some of these guys up. I have a whole pile here. There's still a lot more under the ground. I've kind of been excavating them, and you can kind of see how they just look underneath the ground. I really enjoy digging up my Jerusalem artichokes. Another thing I enjoy is, actually, while I like to do the no-till method, when you got to dig up your crops to harvest, you got to till in a little bit. So I've been enjoying actually digging up the soil and looking at the quality of the soil, and actually looking at the inside of my wooden raised beds that are not rotting yet. So that's actually quite impressive. This is the cedar wood that I built these guys out of. In any case, I have had some requests where some people want me to offer my Jerusalem artichokes. Again, I did this last year, and guess what? I'll be doing it again this year. So if you're interested in growing the Jerusalem artichoke tubers and these specific ones that I'm harvesting right now, check the link down below to go to my Facebook Growing Your Greens page, which has a shopping cart on there. You could actually order these Jerusalem artichokes. I'm going to send them in a flat rate mail envelope packed in soil, along with actually some organic compost they're packed in, so that they'll make the shipment and make it to you. Once you get them, you're going to put them in either, if your ground is not frozen, you can actually plant them out, cover them up really good, and they're going to grow in the springtime. If you can't plant them out yet, then what you're going to do is actually you're going to go ahead and put them in a 5-gallon bucket or a nursery pot with some soil and keep it mildly moist so that will preserve them over the winter until you are ready to plant them. In addition, I will also be making some of these runner bean seeds available. I don't have too many, but I grew them this year specifically to offer the seeds to you guys, so you guys could get some of these rare varieties that I grow. And once again, you might want to order these and those, because these guys planted at the base will vine up them and do the Jack and the Beanstalk thing. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode learning more about the Native American runner beans and the sunchokes. Be sure to check my other videos if you want more information on these two crops. I have many videos about that. And I want to remind you guys to go to my YouTube channel page, and at the top upper right corner there's a little box that'll search only my YouTube channel. So if you have questions about irrigation or about sunchokes or about runner beans, just put runner beans in there, runner bean, and all the results, all my videos that I did about those subjects will come up. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, keep on growing.